everybody, how's it going? This is Big Lair here, Jack's Private Coffee Corner, still in Japan, Nagoya, Japan. Today is the 8th. It's the 8th of November. It's about, wow, a little after 10 p.m. for me. So that makes it around sometime in the morning for those of you in America. Okay. Just wanted to give a quick update on some crypto stuff here. Been watching the markets yesterday, and for part of today I was quite busy. I was working with some clients, traveled a tremendous distance yesterday. Man, I was on trains for how many hours? But anyway, it was kind of fun. And I even squeezed in some time to meet up with four of my good old friends here in Japan. I've got a number of Japanese friends that I've known for close to 20 years now, so that's pretty cool to have friends that long and still be able to hang out with people and enjoy each other's company. So that was really good. In the middle of a busy day with lots of things, I squeezed in a lunch at a Chinese restaurant in Japan with four of my friends. So that was really fun. And we even talked cryptos just a tiny bit. These friends of mine are not into cryptos. They're into other stuff, but they always like to hear what I'm doing with cryptos. So, and I believe they may even check out my YouTube channel. So that's kind of fun. Okay, what's going on in the crypto market here? Wow, things are down. They are really down. Well, I shouldn't say really down. Let's see, when I made my last video, what was my recommendation there? I know I was saying buy OMG for a couple of days in a row back on the 5th. I was saying OMG looked pretty good. I want to say Stellar. Yeah, Stellar was strong that day, right? On my numbers, Stellar had almost an 18% increase, had gained against Bitcoin. OMG, when it was 99 cents, I was saying, hey, this is a pretty good buy. I would recommend it. It's not financial advice. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a professional advisor. I'm just giving recommendations as though you're my friends sitting in my living room talking to me about cryptocurrencies. Okay, I did recommend OMG when it was 99 cents on the 5th, and then boom, on the 6th it jumped up 7%, gained some really good strength against Bitcoin on the 6th. And when I looked at it, it was at $1.06, although I think it went a little higher when I wasn't looking at it. And I believe I mentioned in my video that although Tezos wasn't doing much, at 90 cents, I felt like that was pretty good for me to buy it because I had purchased Tezos originally at a higher price. So I believe I said, for me, Tezos at 90 cents was a really good buy. And I was hoping Tezos would have some movement. Well, let's see, we get to the 6th. So that was on the 5th, my video on the 5th, just a few days ago where I said that about Tezos. Then the next day, it was up only 0.5%. It actually lost a bit of value against Bitcoin. But then what happened on the 7th? What happened yesterday? Well, Tezos jumped. I think some people said it jumped around 53%. Now with my numbers, I usually write down the prices. I put the prices into my Excel spreadsheet somewhere between 9 and 10 p.m. every evening. So then if I put my numbers in the spreadsheet and I make a video at about this time, then people in the States can see my video in the morning. Okay, so what happened on the 7th? Wow, so Tezos spiked. In my numbers, it spiked 28%, but it did go as high. So 28% was when Tezos was $1.17, although it did spike at $1.42 that day. That was awesome. That was something I was expecting. Why? Because OMG was up. NEO had been up previously. And Tezos is my other, my trifecta of cryptocurrencies that I love to watch because they have really nice patterns. Okay, so Tezos, that was awesome. And then OMG had weakened a bit yesterday. It was down 7.5% price-wise, and it had lost all of that strength that OMG had gained against Bitcoin on the 6th. It lost all of it on the 7th. Okay, that's okay though. That's what we're looking for. We want to see things going up, down, up and down. That's good for strategic traders. That's awesome. Stellar on the 7th also. The gains it made the last couple days, you know, with I don't know what it was. Maybe it was burning 55 billion Stellar, right? The gains that we had made, Stellar lost all of those gains yesterday. As far as I'm concerned, it was down. It was back to where it was. Yeah, it lost on the 6th against Bitcoin. It lost tremendously yesterday on the 7th against Bitcoin. So it was really in a weakened state. The same with Bitcoin Cash. It had gained almost 5% on Bitcoin, or the price went up around 5% in fiat dollar terms. Yesterday it lost all those gains. Okay, so got to remember that Tezos spiked at 142, and then by the time I got home it was at 117. So this is one of the things I've talked about numerous times with Tezos. I can remember how many months ago, 2 months ago, it was jumping around, was bouncing around between 120 and 145, between those two numbers. 145 was the high and all the way down to 120. And then sometimes it would only go back up to 140 or 142, but it was in this really beautiful range where you could have easily sold your Tezos at 140 and bought them back at 120 a couple times during a 24-hour period. So if we just look at yesterday, somebody, one of my subscribers, I don't know if I can say the name or not, somebody put a nice message on my last video saying, hey, you know, Tezos is up so many percent. That's awesome. And I really wish that I could have gotten back to my computer and sold some of my Tezos, because I knew if it went to that price, absolutely by the time I came home it would be down to where I would make a pretty nice bundle on it, right? I mean, you sell at 142 and you buy back at 117. How beautiful is that? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? And I don't talk about it with all of the cryptocurrencies. Why? Because I haven't seen the same patterns in other cryptocurrencies. Okay, now we jump ahead today. What's going on? Well, when I just put in my numbers into my Excel spreadsheet, Bitcoin is down. It's only down 1.64%, which isn't so huge in fiat dollar terms. It's about what, $150, $200 down. Let's see. Okay, in the basket of cryptos that I have here, everything has gained strength against Bitcoin except XRP. XRP has gotten weaker against Bitcoin. Okay, XRP, the coin that some people love to hate. Hey, what can you do? You know, they've got their game that they've got the game they're running, and we're trying to run our own game alongside them, right? And as far as, let's see, so everything except XRP is doing well against Bitcoin. My favorites, well, now Tezos was at 123, or was at 123 about 30 minutes ago when I did that. As far as my numbers are concerned, it's up 5% from yesterday, even though yesterday had that big gain. I only marked it as a 28% gain, but it was probably closer to 53%, as someone was so kind to message me on. Thank you to that person. I think they know who they are. So it's up in fiat dollars, and it's up, boy, really nicely against Bitcoin. Looking at the numbers here, Digibyte is up 4%. It's also doing well against Bitcoin. let's see. So for me, Tezos is still in a sell position. I would suggest selling it. Now, I just did a quick look at the range today. Today's high for Tezos was $1.31, and the low was $1.15. So, okay, that big gap, the big gap between the high and the low yesterday has sort of tightened. It's tightened to about a 16-cent range. Yeah, that's normal for Tezos. You know, it'll have these days where it has a really nice big gap, and then it'll tighten up for a day or two. And let's hope it has one of those big spikes again. Okay, because I'm going to be sitting in front of my computer, hopefully, the next time it does that. If not, I hope one of you can take advantage of it. Okay, so my only recommendations right now, if I had to give one, if you were sitting here having a cup of coffee with me, I would say, cappuccino, with brown sugar. I've got this brown sugar from Okinawa. I get this Okinawan brown sugar. It comes in these like little tiny squares, like a cube almost. And it's really, really dark brown. I'm trying to think of what it looks like. I guess if you could solidify coffee, if you could somehow solidify coffee, that really dark color, it's almost that dark. And it's got, when I researched it about 20 years ago, I found out that it has, some of the brands contain around 50 to 55 different minerals, and some of the brands of this Okinawan brown sugar contain up to 75 different minerals, naturally occurring minerals, because it's made from cane sugar, right? Sugar cane. So that is awesome stuff. That's what I put in my coffee. Nothing better than that. Really, it kind of broadens the flavor of your coffee. Okay, back to this. So we're having our cappuccinos. We got our Okinawan brown sugar in it. And you're asking me, what would you recommend today? I would say Tezos is still in a sell position. Actually, and it depends. Remember, I said it depends on a few considerations. What is your average? What was your average buying price? For me, 123 is an okay price to sell. That would be good. I'd make something on the deal. So it depends on what your situation is. Actually, I would recommend it, but then I would have to ask you, hey, what's your average buying price on Tezos? How much you got into it? For me personally, knowing that yesterday it spiked at 142, and I've had it at 142 before, and I was not able to buy it at that. And then one time I sat in front of my computer ready to buy it. I got a phone call, and then it went from 145 and boom, 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 and I couldn't catch it until 130 something. So that's life. So 142 is kind of my nemesis price for Tezos. I would just say abroad, yeah, this is a pretty good price to sell because I think it will go lower. However, personally, knowing that yesterday's high was 142, today's was 131, and this is for me in Asia, right? So my day, November 8th, is almost over. I got about an hour and a half left here. For those of you who are starting the day, maybe wait and see what happens. I think it should go higher than 123, but you never know. You never know. In the past, I have watched Tezos over a number of days go up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's been very, very good to me, so I like Tezos. I've seen the same thing with OMG, but OMG has tighter swings. It's not as pronounced. It's not as wide. The range isn't as wide for OMG as it is for Tezos. NEO was up pretty good today. I believe it was $11.20 some cents. When I check now, it's $10.85. So, even NEO, if you keep an eye on NEO during the day, you could easily, sell it for whatever, and the price normally drops 40 to 50 cents. There's a pretty good range on NEO because, well, of course, the price is a little higher, right? It's in the $10, $11 range. So that's something you could watch. Let's see. I'm also going to start watching EOS. Hasn't done much, but I think it's ready for it. I think it's ready for it. Okay, let's see. What else was I going to tell everybody? Oh yeah, I mentioned on a video, maybe I should make a Patreon page. I've been working diligently on a Patreon page. I will have it set up by next week. It's actually ready to launch now. I think it's all like live and everything. I just haven't told anyone about it. I've got 3 tiers worked out. Let's see, what can I tell you about it? The first tier, well, let me back up. What can I tell you about it? I plan on making like a daily, what can I say, crypto price trend / crypto advice videos 5 to 7 times a week. And it'll either be a video or it'll be written out. And I haven't decided which one because I don't think they'll be that long. So it might be faster and easier for me to get the information up if it's in written format than if I make a video. So we'll see how that goes, but it'll have a little more detailed information than what I give everybody now. There's a lot of things I don't tell people because, you know, I'm doing this for free on YouTube, spending my time. But I've decided, yeah, I could be more serious about this. I have helped people on the side that you guys don't know about. Yeah, I've helped a number of people buy cryptos. I've given people advice. I think in one video I mentioned briefly that I helped this person or that person out and they had these kinds of gains. So far I haven't made any huge mistakes. And that's one of the reasons for that is, like I mentioned before, I've got this whole system worked out and whatnot. And I won't go into that here because if you want to read all that, I'm going to have it on my Patreon channel. And I'm working on a very important video of libraries for cryptos. It'll cover security. And this is security as far as I know it. And I've got some really, really top-notch guys who give me advice on security. Okay, I mean, I can't tell you what these guys, the one guy does for a living, but these are top guys, trust me. So I've got a video about security. I've got one about exchanges. Maybe somebody's new. They don't know much about exchanges, what to watch out for, how to do things. It's kind of nice if you can see a video where someone's pointing out, you know, what to do. I'm going to talk about wallets, hardware and software wallets. I know you can store cryptos 4 different ways: on an exchange, hardware wallet, software wallet, and a paper wallet. I won't talk about paper wallets just because I don't use them. I'll talk a little bit about exchanges, but I don't recommend anyone keeping their cryptos on an exchange. And then some of the other videos, which all of this is already up. It's already uploaded to my Patreon channel. I just haven't told anybody that, hey, this is the official start date. Let's see, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. Some of them are a little long too. I've got my whole strategy laid out for what do I look at, what do I consider when I'm doing this trading on cryptos. Okay, so that's it. There'll be 5 to 7 crypto updates, price trends, videos, whatever you want to call them, similar to what I'm doing now, but a little more detailed, a little more specific advice. I've got a few other things that I'll add to it that I don't do now. And then woo-woo videos about woo-woo stuff, you know, periodically. And then sometimes just coffee talk stuff, things that come up or things that are happening in the world, what's my take on them, stuff like that. So those 3 topics with a main focus on cryptos. And, you know, I've got this book that I wrote, Emails from a Ninja, my Japanese father-in-law's secret life. I'll also be going over that book. So I think once a week I'll be reading part of that and giving like a backstory on it, because, you know, writing a book, a lot goes into writing a book, takes a lot of time. But I've noticed since I've written the book and then reread the book, you know, there's all kinds of things that kind of come up in my mind and say, oh, it'd be cool if I could tell people about this or if they knew this backstory. So that'll be included in it. Okay, Patreon's going to be 3 tiers. The lower tier You'll get the crypto library, the video library I'm making. You'll get all the woo-woo videos, all the coffee talk videos, and you'll get the first crypto update, crypto price trends video of the week. Then the second tier, you'll get all of that, plus you'll get all of the crypto videos. So 5 to 7 crypto videos a week, about one every day. And I'll just stick with weekdays. So the 5 will be most likely, Monday through Friday. But if the market's really going wild or something, I'll do it every day, 7 days a week. And then the third tier will be all of that plus those third tier, upper tier members. They'll have an opportunity to have a 30-minute private one-on-one Skype call or whatever kind of call we can do with each other, 30 minutes, and you can ask me about whatever. And I say Skype or however we can do it because I communicate with a lot of people on different apps. WhatsApp, are you familiar with that? I do video calls and normal calls with a lot of people. I do, Line, the Line app that's used in Japan, I do that. And then there's, what's that other app? I forgot now. But there's lots of apps now that you can call people on. If you have an internet connection, we can call each other, we can talk, we can, send files back and forth. So that's very convenient. And if you don't have that, then we can do Skype. So that'll be part of the third tier. And I'm pretty excited because, like I said, there's a lot of information I don't give here on YouTube. I mainly talk about, the couple cryptos that I like. There are some other trends that I've been seeing, but I haven't told anybody about. And I'll be going over all of that as part of the Patreon channel. So I'll most likely announce sometime this weekend when the launch is going to be. Astrologically, I'm looking at a certain day next week that I would like to launch this, and that's probably when I will do it. Okay, so you guys take care. Hope everyone's doing well. It's nice. It's getting cooler here in Japan. Finally, I can stop sweating every day. Holy mackerel. I think we're getting down into the mid-40s at night, so it's perfect for sleeping, huh? Okay, you guys take care. Have a great Friday, and I'll see you in my next video.